Shortstop, Michael Pratt. 92nd pitcher, Luca Casarcio. 23rd, playing center field, Peyton Cassidy. 94th, playing first base, Noah Atkins-Smith. 95th, catcher, Joel Matthews. 96th, playing second base, Gabe Garcia Hershey. 97th, left fielder, Sawyer Gibney. 98th, playing third base, Matthew Wirt. 99th, right fielder, Gage Clark. In reserve, Gabriel Jackson, Noah McCauley, Elijah Wolf, and Gray Clark. Now for Holsinger, starting lineup. Batting first to shortstop, Trenton Fairbaugh. 92nd, the catcher, Xavier Fairbaugh. 93rd, the pitcher, Cannon Shields. 94th, playing second base, Carter Kaufman. 95th, playing first base, Micah Fairbaugh. 96th, playing third base, Corbin Johnston. 97th, playing center field, Gio Peretta. 98th, playing left field, David Hatfield. 99th, playing right field, Eddie Brumbaugh. With reserves, Levi Bailey, Jackson Emersol, Ava Delancey, Corey Smith, Ben Gordon, Lyric Powell, Parker Trexler, and Grayson McGarvey. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove our caps and play our national anthem. Leading up top with first inning is the shortstop, number 16, Michael Pratt.
Game one of the AABA semifinals are here, and it starts at John Kraft Field between LS Fiore and Holsinger's Plumbing. Michael Kraft getting us started here. First pitch for game one of the AABA semifinals, and it's a taken ball one. First pitch at 5:59 p.m., just a tick early. Pleasure to have you with us here on the AABA Facebook page or the YouTube channel. Jake Irwin providing you the play-by-play commentary for tonight's game. Glad to have you tagging along. Beautiful evening for baseball. Slight breeze in the air and some clouds dotted here and there, but just absolutely ideal conditions. 2-1 count here on Michael Kraft, the shortstop here tonight for LS Fiore. 14-13 record for this LS Fiore team, fourth in the standings. Chopper sent down the third baseline, and that's a foul. Corbin Johnston over there at third for Holsinger's Plumbing. 2-2 even count here on Michael Kraft. A 10-0 win for LS Fury last game against Sisto to get to this point. 3-2 full count here on Kraft. Starting pitcher tonight for Holsinger's Plumbing is Cannon Shields. He delivers the payoff, and that catches the outside edge of the strike zone for a strike 3 looking on Michael Kraft, and there's one away here for LS Fury.
Now batting the pitcher number 5, Luca DeCercio.
Bringing up the pitcher, Luca DeCercio. Shields ready at the chest, his windup and release. Spotted outside for ball number 1. Really choking up on that bat, DeCercio is. Faces the 1-0, and that time catches that outer half of the plate. 1-1 even count. Pretty amazing story here for this LS Fiore team to get to this point. They had been 0-4 against Sisto Law this season. And they would lose game 1 by an 11-1 score, and then go on to beat them 6-5 to force a game 3 in what was a thrilling 8-inning battle. And then last night, a 10-0 win against Sisto Law to get to the semifinal round. 3-1 count here on Luca DeCercio. So from not being able to beat Sisto at all to beating them 2 games in a row after being down a game to punch their ticket to the semifinals. Just a great story for this LS Fiore team. Defeating such a great Sisto Law team. Just outside, ball 4, missing by inches there. And DeCercio will take a trip over to first base, 1 away after a backwards K to Michael Kraft. Here at the top of the first. So now that brings up the bat of the center fielder, Keegan Cassidy. Outfielders playing medium depth. Checks over at that runner at first and delivers a pitch down the middle for strike number 1. Catching behind the plate tonight for Holsinger's Plumbing is Xavier Faribaugh. The 0-1 release and a nice off-speed pitch that catches the inside of the zone. Runs the count to 0-2 on the LS Fury number 3 hitter. DeCercio at first after he walked. 1 out here at the top of the first, and strike 3 called on Keegan Cassidy. 3 straight pitches to ring him up. That's already 2 backwards Ks handed out by Cannon Shields on the mound for Holsinger's Plumbing. 2 away with a runner on first, and now the cleanup hitter, Noah Atkins-Smith. Nice off-speed pitch that almost curves into the zone, but misses by inches there. 1-0 count here on the LS Fury first baseman. The pitch, a big cut that one. Atkins-Smith looking to send that a country mile, just couldn't connect with it. Here's the 1-1, up and away, 2-1 count. Time going to be called here by Atkins-Smith. Little conversation between Atkins-Smith and the home plate umpire as well. Now we're ready to resume play. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs, right on first. Scoreless here in the top of this first inning. Game 1 of the semifinals. Popped up high in the air. Shortstop calling for it. Makes the 2-handed grab. And the shortstop, Trenton Faribaugh, puts an end to the top of the first inning. So 1 base runner gets on. It's Luca DeCercio after walking, but 2 strikeouts on the mound by Cannon Shields and a pop out of Noah Atkins-Smith puts any hopes of LS Fury striking early to rest. To the bottom of the first we go here after the break on the AABA Sports Network. Welcome back here to John Kraft Field as we've made our way into the bottom of the first inning. And leading it off for Holsinger's Plumbing will be the shortstop, Trenton Faribaugh. Starting pitcher for LS Fiore is Luca DeCercio. Righty versus righty battle to get us started off here in the home half of the first inning. First pitch is in the turf for ball one on the Holsinger's Plumbing shortstop. DeCercio set, and he deals his 1-0. In the turf again, 2-0 count. This Holsinger's Plumbing team, undefeated, of course, 24-0. Obviously, first in the standings, got the first round bye, so this is the first we've seen them in the postseason this year, outside 3-0 count. Now here on the leadoff batter, Trenton Faribaugh. The last game was on June 25th, in which they beat Parcombe by an 11-3 score. And the 3-0. Right down Main Street. Runs the count to 3-1 on Trenton Faribaugh. DeCercio set, and he deals his 3-1 pitch. That one's elevated for ball four. And that is how Holsinger's Plumbing gets their first base runner of the day. So now we get the catcher, Xavier Faribaugh, stepping up to the dish. Gets some signs from his third base coach and is now ready with that green and black bat in his hands. Takes a cut at the first one he sees and misses for strike number one. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. Trenton Faribaugh on first after a walk. These teams have played each other 3 times this year. And obviously, Holsinger's Plumbing has taken all 3 of the matchups with their undefeated season. First 2 matchups, it wasn't too pretty. Holsinger's won 12-0 and then 14-0. But the most recent matchup on June 12th, it was a really good one, a 2-1 final. So that could be what's in store for a semifinal round, and losing it there is Matthews behind the plate, and that allows Trenton Faribaugh to advance into scoring position with nobody out. 1-2 count here on Xavier Faribaugh, and DeCercio's deal. This one hit right over the second baseman's head and trickles out to right field. Rounding third and applying the brakes is Trenton Faribaugh, and now he's going to take off for home and give Holsinger's Plumbing a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Caught LS Fiore napping there, and it costs them a run.
Number 2, Cannon Shields.
Now we have the pitcher, Cannon Shields. In his first at-bat, it's one right down the middle for strike number one. Matthews checking over Xavier Faribaugh at first. Cercio's next one, up high, 1-1 even count. So you would likely score that as Trenton Faribaugh scoring on the throw and not the hit by Xavier. And what was a pretty odd play. 1-1, hit right to the second baseman, catches it in the air, and throws it over to first for the double play. Well done by the second baseman, Gabe Garcia Hershey, to catch Xavier Faribaugh by surprise. And we quickly go from 0 outs to 2 outs.
The second baseman, number 14, Carter Klausman.
Now we get the cleanup batter, Carter Klausman. Second baseman today for Holsinger's Plumbing. First one he sees is just a tad high. Start him off with a 1-0 count. Bottom of the first, 1-0 lead. After Xavier Faribaugh hit a single, Trenton Faribaugh hit the brakes around third, and then noticed that LS Fiore didn't get the ball in real swiftly. They were being slow with getting the ball in, so he took advantage of it and took home plate. Advanced that extra 60 feet, 1-1 even count here on Carter Klausman. comes the 1-1 off-speed pitch upstairs, 2-1 count. Cercio gets the one he wants and his 2-1. Outside and away. Good stop there by Joel Matthews behind the plate. Matthews, of course, one of the best catchers in the league, makes all kinds of great stops like that. And to throw out base runners at any given moment, so that's something to be weary of if you're on the base paths in your Holsinger's plumbing. Carter Klausman discards the bat and takes first with a walk. Second walk that Luca DeCercio has issued here so far. Now a runner on first with 2 away, and the first baseman, Micah Faribaugh, steps in. First pitch to Micah. Thought about taking a cut at that inside delivery, but instead held back for the 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0. Downstairs in the turf. Another good stop there by Matthews. Comes the 2-0. That one catches his own. 2-1 count here in the number 5 hitter in this Holsinger's lineup. And the 2-1 up and away. Very athletic play there by Matthews to avoid Holsinger's plumbing from getting another runner in scoring position. And the 3-1 pitch bounces before it gets to the plate. And so with that, Carter Klausman advances to second on the Micah Faribaugh walk. Third walk that Holsinger's has gotten from Luca DeCercio. 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 lead for Holsinger's, and the third baseman, Corbin Johnston, steps up and takes a high and inside pitch for a ball and no strikes. Next one, fouled above the Holsinger's dugout. 1-1 even count. And the next pitch, just outside. Did not miss by much. Runs the count to 2-1. Two one upcoming, and here it is. Little chopper sent over to the shortstop, fields it cleanly, throws, and is not able to get Johnston in time. Able to run it out and beat the arm of Michael Kraft. Bases loaded with 2 away. 2 out lightning by Holsinger's plumbing for that infield single. And with that, we get Gio Peretta, center fielder, trying to tack on more runs here to this long bottom of the first inning for Holsinger's. That run coming in from Trenton Faribaugh. Comes the 0-1. 1-1 even count now. Faribaugh was able to score off of a Xavier Faribaugh hit. And the 1-1 pitch bounces, and Matthews chases after it. Doesn't get there in time to stop Klausman from scoring, and it's a 2-0 Holsinger's lead. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Micah Faribaugh advances to third, and Corbin Johnston to second. A 2-1 count here on Peretta, the number 7 hitter in this Holsinger's lineup. And the pitch from DeCercio, right down the middle, even the count at 2-2. Looking at the trees out there, looks like we pretty much lost our breeze. There was a slight breeze, and here and there we get it back, but it's been pretty steady out there for the most part. 2-2 pitch. Is outside, runs the count full. 2-0 Holsingers. Here in game one of this three-game series in the semifinals, and a bouncer sent down the first baseline foul. So we'll do it again at a 3-2 count. Seventh pitch of this at-bat coming up. And the Cercios pay off. Fouled back. Now the eighth pitch of this at-bat coming up. Outfielders playing shallow. And the 3-2. Swings at a high pitch for strike three. And that'll do it for this productive bottom of the first inning for Holsingers. Trenton Faribaugh scoring after a Xavier Faribaugh hit. And then Carter Klausman scoring on a wild pitch. We go to the second inning after the break here in game one of this three-game series of the semifinal round for the 2024 AABA playoffs. Back with more action on the other side of this break. Back here in the AABA semifinals, starting off with Joel Matthews here at the top of the second. He takes a first pitch ball. Next one is chopped to the first baseman, who flips it to Shields covering the bag. And that'll be one away. Start off top of the second inning for LS Fury.
Second baseman, number 12, Gabe Garcia-Hershey.
Chalk that up as a 3-1 putout in your scorecard. And the second baseman, Gabe Garcia-Hershey, in his first at-bat, takes a first pitch strike. And when looking at the comments here, comment from Patrick Pellegrino, watching this game from Texas City, Texas. Thank you, Patrick, for tuning in from the Lone Star State. I have an aunt, actually, that lives in Lake Dallas, Texas. So she frequently tunes into my broadcasts as one of my best supporters. So it's good to know that my fan base in Texas is slowly growing. She's a big-time Texas A&M Aggies fan. Not sure if you are or not, but originally from Pennsylvania and then moved down to Texas. Hit over to the shortstop, and he fields it cleanly, throws across, 3 up, 3 down. Goes LS Fury for a quick top of the second inning. We progress our way to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Holsingers. Back with more on the other side of this break on the AABA Sports Network. Welcome back here to the AABA Semifinals, Game 1 of this 3-game series to see who punches their ticket to the championship game next weekend. I'm Jake Irwin, providing you the play-by-play commentary. Thank you for making us a part of your Monday evening. As it's Taven Hatfield, the left fielder, that gets us started here in the bottom of the second. First pitch he sees from DeCercio is a called strike. Third baseman playing pretty far up the line. Grounder sent back to the pitcher. DeCercio takes his time and tosses it across to complete the 1-3 putout.
That brings up the right fielder, number 18, Eddie Brumbaugh.
Now we have the right fielder, Eddie Brumbaugh, batting in the number 9 spot before we go to the top of the lineup card. Off-speed pitch that buzzes inside. 1-0 count. Comes the 1-0. Next day, 2-0 count. So I mentioned earlier how Patrick Pellegrino's watching from Texas. If anybody else is watching from a faraway location, feel free to comment it, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Would be interested to know what kind of demographic we have going here audience-wise. 3-0. I would imagine, though, that Texas is probably the furthest viewer we have, but I could be wrong. Brumbaugh gets on via a walk. Runner on first with 1 away. Now we go to the top of the order with Trenton Faribaugh, who reached on a walk and came around to score as part of the first run on the board for Holsingers. First pitch he sees is inside. It's a wild pitch, taken off for second base, and getting there easily is Eddie Brumbaugh. So just like that, a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-0 lead for Holsingers. The 1-0, and inside, coming close there to the face of Trenton, but was able to duck out of the way before a potential hit by pitch. Holsingers trying to keep their winning streak going. 24-0 here in 2024. And 3-0 now on Trenton, not getting anything good to hit. DeCercio ready, and he fires his 3-0 pitch, and that one also inside. So 4 straight balls to Trenton. Put runners on first and second with 1 away.
The catcher, number 3, Xavier Faribaugh.
And now the number 2 hitter, Xavier Faribaugh, who had a hit that helped bring in Trenton Faribaugh in the last inning. And the pitch from DeCercio outside. Matthews lunges out of his stance there to make sure it doesn't hurl its way towards the backstop. DeCercio trying to find the strike zone here. And the 1-0. High bouncer sent over to the second baseman, takes it himself and taps the bag, throws over to first, and it's an errant throw. Coming in to score is Eddie Brumbaugh, and it's a 3-0 Holsingers lead. So Xavier reaches on a fielder's choice. It was a valiant effort by the second baseman, Gabe Garcia Hershey. Probably should have kept that throw in his pocket when looking back on it. Tried to do his best to get a double play, and it was a great effort, but his body was kind of contorted with how Trenton was sliding, and because of that, it forced a wide throw to first base that allowed Brumbaugh to score and give us a 3-0 contest in favor of Holsingers. Next pitch, inside. So we got a 2-1 count here on the pitcher, Cannon Shields, who lined out, which resulted in a double play last time he was up. This one hit really high towards the road. Here beyond the right side of the ballpark, 2-2 even count. 2 outs. The runner on first. In the 2-2. Makes it a 3-2 count. Comes the payoff. And a grounder sent out of the shortstop's reach, was trying to field it off the backhand. Instead, it goes right past his mitt. And out into left field for Cannon Shields. First base hit of the game, advancing Xavier Faribault to second base. And now 2 runners on and 2 out. 3-0 Holsingers here in the bottom of the second inning. And now we get the cleanup hitter, Carter Klausman. First one he sees is hit sharply down the third baseline, hits off of the third baseman, Matthew Werb. Coming around to score is Xavier play at the plate, throw is high, and now here comes another runner. This is Cannon Shields. He's in safely. Rounding third intensely is Carter, and he's in as well. 3-run score out of that crazy play right there. And now we will have a conversation amongst the umpires. Not sure if the ball was stuck in the fence or what, and that's the reason why they couldn't get it out from behind home plate. We'll see what the decision here is, though, whether one of the runners is forced to go back or not. If it stands, then I will not stand. Klausman will be required to go back to third base. So that'll make it a 5-0 game instead of 6-0.
First baseman, number 11, Micah Faribault.
2 RBIs there for Carter Klausman to really open up this game early for Holsingers. Trying to build on that huge winning streak and keep the undefeated season alive. First one is way high. Now coming in to score and getting there successfully is Carter Klausman on the wild pitch. And there's our 6-0 ball game. So now, after all that, nobody on the bases, 2 outs. 1-0 count here on Micah Faribault. First one he sees is right past the pitcher and right past second base. And Faribault reaches base for the second time in this game. After walking in the first, he has himself a single now.
Number 1, Corbin Johnston.
And up steps Corbin Johnston, who singled his last time up. So next pitch, and a called strike. 0-1 here on the third baseman, Corbin Johnston. Number 6 in this Holsingers lineup. Micah Faribault at first. Up and away. 1-1 even. Next one from DeSercio. Downstairs, 2-1 count. Next one outside, 3-1. Three balls and a strike, and the delivery from DeSercio swings at a high pitch. That would have been ball 4. Instead, he gets to see at least one more pitch in this at-bat. Runner on first with 2 outs. 6-0 Holsingers here in the bottom of the second in this 4-run inning. And the payoff. Just a hair outside. Second time that Corbin Johnston reaches base. So now Micah Faribault at second and Johnston at first.
Number 19, Gio Peretta.
And now the 9th batter of this inning here for Holsingers, Gio Peretta, who struck out swinging last time we saw him. And we're going to get a mound visit here for Luca de Cercia. We'll see if his day is done or not. Looks like his day is, in fact, done. Calling for Keegan Cassidy out from center field. So it looks like he's going to be taking the ball from coach. Unless it looks like it's going to be Atkins Smith, actually, who's towing the slab. So no Atkins Smith, the new pitcher into the game for LS Fiore to try and stop the bleeding here as Holsinger leads it 6-0 here in the bottom of the second for game one of this three-game series in the AABA semifinals. Back with more here after Atkins Smith takes some practice pitches. Stay with us here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Back in a moment. Welcome back here on the AABA Sports Network. Bottom of the second, 6-0 Holsinger's lead. 4 out of those 6 runs coming in the bottom of the second frame. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. New pitcher into the game. And it's no Atkins Smith. His first batter will be Gio Peretta, who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. Takes a hard fastball outside that bounces in the turf, allows both base runners to score. So now Micah Faribault at third and Corbin Johnston at second base. We have 2 away. And a 1-0 count here on Peretta. Now a stoppage of play. And it's Joel Matthews going over to the LS Fury dugout. Looks like they're making some more changes here. So it appears that LS Fury is changing their catcher behind home plate. In the meantime, Atkins Smith warming up his arm some more, throwing with his infield. And meanwhile, it is a 1-0 count on Gio Peretta. In case you missed it, so far in this inning, started off with a Taven Hatfield ground out, and then Eddie Brumbaugh walked and would eventually come around to score. Trenton Faribault walked as well. Xavier reached on a fielder's choice. He'd come around to score, as well as Cannon Shields after a single. A big 2 RBI hit by Carter Klausman to keep padding on to the lead. Micah Faribault with a single. And a walk by Corbin Johnston, and those are the 2 base runners on right now, which brings us to Gio Peretta. 5 hits in this ball game so far here for Holsinger's Plumbing. And they've been drawing a ton of walks. 6 total walks so far up to this point. 3 last inning. Just really patient batting, and then once they get their pitch, they give it a ride. And of course, the greatest teams do that consistently. Big reason why Holsinger's is undefeated this season. So now new catcher behind the plate for LS Fiore. And it's Michael Kraft. So he'll take some pitches here from Atkins Smith. It appears that Joe Matthews went out to third base from what it looks like. And then Luca DeCercio is at short. He was the original pitcher in this game for LS Fiore. Now it looks like we're ready to resume play. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Micah Faribault at third. Johnston at second. 1-0 count here on Gio Peretta, trying to add some more insurance runs on to this big lead. Next one in at the knees, or strike number 1. Watching that fastball by Atkins Smith whiz by. Set on the rubber, righty versus righty battle. Next one bounces in and skips its way to the backstop, and there's another run for Holsingers. Micah Faribault coming home, and Corbin Johnston advancing to third base. So a 7-0 Holsingers lead here in the bottom of the second with 2 away. Here comes the 2-1 to Peretta. That one's in the turf as well. Runner pulls the parachute before running down the line 60 feet. 3-1 count. Next one outside for ball 4. Full head of steam. Coming home and scoring is Corbin Johnston. Going around first and heading to second is Peretta, but the tag is applied. They do get a run out of it, though, from that wide pitch by Atkins Smith. And the side is retired. So for Holsinger's Plumbing, they get all 9 batters up to the plate and tack on 6 more runs to make it an 8-0 ball game. To the third we go. More baseball on the other side of this break on the AABA Sports Network.
Center fielder number 54, Matthew Wirt.
Welcome back here to John Kraft Field in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Game 1 of this 3-game series, part of the AABA semifinals. I'm Jake Irwin, providing you play-by-play commentary. Thank you for watching on this Monday evening. First pitch strike here to Matthew Wirt. First plate appearance of this ball game for Wirt. Takes another one just outside. Wirt, the number 8 hitter in this LS Fiore batting order here this evening. Next one, he takes a swing at a low one and makes the count 1-2. And the next offering, right down the middle, but Wirt can't connect with that and strikes out swinging. Third strikeout of the day for Cannon Shields on the mound.
Right fielder number 6, Gage Clark.
Now we get the right fielder, Gage Clark. You remember Gage had a big RBI single walk-off in Game 2 of the quarterfinals in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was absolutely clutch. What a game that was to watch. Comes the 0-1. He takes a big swing at that one. 0-2. Shields gets the one he wants and delivers a high heater. From his chest, kicks and deals. More high heat, and Clark, with good plate discipline, takes 2 consecutive high fastballs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on base. And the next one, he goes fishing for that outside delivery. And there's 2 away here for LS Fiore. And we flip the lineup card and
Number 16, Michael Kraft.
go to Michael Kraft. Kraft went down looking back in the first inning. Ducks out of the way from that pitch and starts off 1-0. Next one reaches the zone. LS Fiore looking for its first base hit of the ball game. They've only had one person reach, and it was Luca De Cercia when he walked back in the first inning. Kraft steps back into that right-handed batter's box and is ready here with a 1-1 count. Here it is, and lifts this one to the second baseman's glove. And 3 up, 3 down goes LS Fiore. So we make our way to the bottom of the 3rd frame. More baseball coming up here after the break on the AABA Sports Network.
Hitting off the bottom of the third inning is the left fielder, number 12, David Hatfield.
Welcome back here on the AABA Facebook or YouTube, depending on which platform you're watching on. Bottom of the third, 8-0, Holsinger's lead, down and away for ball number 1 here in Taven Hatfield, who grounded out in his first plate appearance. No Atkins Smith in his second inning of relief work here. Comes the next offering. And one misses by a hair. 2-1. Holsingers with 5 hits so far in this game, 7 walks, 2 runs in the first inning, 6 in the second. Now 3-1 here on Taven Hatfield, number 8 hitter in this Holsingers lineup. So 3-1, just tied for ball 4. And with that walk, everybody has reached base at least once here for Holsingers.
Number 18, Eddie Brumbaugh.
Now we get Eddie Brumbaugh, who walked last time we saw him and would come around to score. That one outside. And looking back at the comments here on the stream, more comments from Patrick Pellegrino here. That pitch in at the knees, 1-1 even count. You're welcome for the shout out, Patrick. Trenton and Micah Farabaw's Pat, from what he says. Elevated pitch. Quick throw over to first. Diamondback safely. Is Taven Hatfield. 2-1 count. So you're in Texas helping your brother out, so it's nice of you. Doing a good deed for your brother and also catching some Little League baseball on the side. 3 balls and a strike here on Eddie Brumbaugh with Hatfield at first. No outs, bottom of the third, 8-0 lead here for Holsingers. The windup and the release is up and away for ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued here. And that is the 4th consecutive walk here for Holsinger's Plumbing.
Number 20, Trenton Faribault.
4 straight walks for a total of 9 in this game already. Wild pitch, both base runners advance. Hatfield at third, Brumbaugh at second. For Trenton Faribault, he has a pair of walks, would come around to score on the first one, and then was thrown out at second on a Xavier Faribault fielder's choice. And after that foul, back to the backstop, he stands in with an 0-2 count. Release from Atkins Smith. And a good waist pitch there at about eye level. 1-2. Adjusts his helmet and gets set in that right-handed batter's box. And here comes the 1-2 from Atkins Smith. And a lightning rod sent out to center field. That'll score at least 1. And that third base runner will stay at third. So Hatfield comes in to score. Eddie Brumbaugh advances to third on the RBI single by Trenton Faribault. 3rd time that he's reached base, his first base hit of this ball game. And so now runners on the corners, nobody out here in the bottom of the third, and 9-0 Holsingers lead. Now steps up the bat of Xavier Faribault, dancing between the bases, and reaching second is Trenton. So now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out and an 0-1 count on Holsinger's number 2 hitter. 1-1. Good save there behind the plate by Michael Kraft. Fair ball with a single back in the first, followed by a fielder's choice. He would then come around to touch home plate after his fielder's choice. Good stomp there by Kraft. Runs the count to 2-1. Center fielder playing really shallow, left and right, a little further back. High pitch, reaches the backstop. Nobody able to advance, though, on the base paths. And we've got a 3-1 count. 9 walks for Holsingers. And they're pushing for 10. Here with this 3-1 count on Xavier Faribault. Next release. Just catches his own top of the strike zone there. Good placement by Atkins Smith. And we've got a 3-2 count. The windup and the payoff. Lifts this one towards shallow right field. First baseman camps under it and makes the catch. Throws it home, and it's a high throw, but base runners stay where they're at. And that'll be how we get our first out here at the bottom of the third inning, with Xavier Faribault popping out to the first baseman, Keegan Cassidy. So now we get the pitcher, Cannon Shields, one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. Had a line out and then a single. And would touch all the pillows and come home for a run after his single. 1-0 count on the Holsinger's number 3 hitter. And the pitch. That one clips the bottom of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Brumbaugh third. And Trenton Faribault at second. Atkins Smith set. And the 1-2. Just missing that upper corner of the zone. Was looking for a strike 3 call, and he's a bit surprised that he didn't get it. 2-2. Atkins Smith looking for his first strikeout, and instead this one sliced out into left field, allowing Brumbaugh to come in and score, and allowing Trenton Faribault to come in and score a 2 RBI single by Cannon Shields. Gives us an 11-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third.
Second baseman, number 14, Carter Kaufman.
Multi-hit game for Cannon Shields after his single in the second inning. And now we get Carter Klausman, the cleanup batter, who walked and had a 2 RBI triple. And he gets hit with the first pitch he sees and will need an extra moment to shake it off. Atkins Smith can throw pretty hard. But despite the velocity behind that pitch, Klausman able to take a trip over to first relatively quickly, so that's good to see. He's holding his right calf, it appears. But looks like he's all good to go. Gets a fist bump from Keegan Cassidy. And so now, after that hit by pitch, we have Shields at second. After Shields' 2 RBI single and Klausman at first, we get the bat of Micah Faribault, who has a walk and a single. Check swing and fouls it off above the Holsinger's dugout. 0-1 count here on Micah. Next pitch, and fouls it back. 0-2 count. eighth batter that Atkins Smith is facing here in his second inning of work. The 0-2, and he gets his first strikeout by getting Micah to swing at that off-speed pitch, and there's two away with runners on first and second. Now steps up Corbin Johnston. It's a single and a walk. Like I mentioned earlier, everybody in this Holsinger's lineup has reached base at least once outside 1-0. That's Kenan Shields at second after his 2 RBI single. Carter Klausman on first after a hit by pitch. And the 1-0. High and inside. Two-0 delivery and hit the shallow center field, but flashing the leather is Matthew Wirt to end this long inning here for Holsinger's Plumbing. So Holsinger's Plumbing adds 3 more runs after Taven Hatfield, Eddie Brumbaugh, and Trenton Faribault were all able to score, helped by Kenan Shields' 2 RBI single. More baseball coming up after the break. Game 1 of this 3-game series of the AABA semifinals to see who goes to the championship game. Back with more after the break. Welcome back here to John Kraft Field on 9th Street in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Top of the 4th, it's an 11-0 Holsinger's lead. Mercy roll is in effect. LS Fiore needs at least 2 more runs to put it out of effect. First pitch, Luca DeCercio swinging, and he fouls it back off of the umpire's mask. So he'll take an extra moment here. Last saw Luca back in the first inning where he walked. LS Fiore looking for their first hit of the ball game. So far, DeCercio is the only one to reach with that walk. 1-1 count. They're facing one of the toughest pitchers in the league in Kenan Shields. So they're trying to find any way possible to get a hit, and whenever you're getting robbed like that by Trenton Faribault, it's hard to do so. What a spectacular catch at short by Trenton, snow coning that ball that was hit right to him and getting out number 1 for what looked to be a DeCercio hit. Instead, there's 1 away here to start off this 4th inning. And we get Keegan Cassidy, who takes a first pitch strike right down the heart of the plate. Cassidy struck out looking in his last appearance. Ducks out of the way. I know one of the oldest sayings in baseball is we've got ice whenever you're about to be hit by a pitch or you were hit by a pitch, but This one popped out into shallow center field. Center fielder gives a dive, but can't get there in time. And that is how LS Fiore gets its first hit of the game. A little bloop out to right center by Keegan Cassidy. Puts a runner on first with one away. Like I was saying, if you were nearly hit by a pitch, or you were, sometimes you'll hear dugouts saying, "We've got ice," but it's your natural instinct to just duck out of the way of a pitch going right towards you. Lightning rod out to right field, but it's caught nicely by Eddie Brumbaugh and gets it in quickly to prevent Cassidy from advancing. So some hard hit balls here by LS Fiore at the top of the fourth. They're just right at Holsinger's fielders. Of course, we had that line out that was snow coned by the shortstop Trent Fairbaugh, who robbed DeCercio of a hit. And then right there, Atkins Smith. Some solid contact just right at the right fielder, Eddie Brumbaugh. So 2 away with a runner on first and 0-1 count here on the third baseman, Joel Matthews. Popped up into the infield. Pitcher's under it, and Shields makes the catch. And that is our ball game right there with the mercy rule in effect. It's at the start of the inning that LS Fiore needs at least 2 runs to get rid of that mercy rule where it's a 10-run differential or more. And instead, Cannon Shields comes out and pitches 4 innings of shutout baseball, allowing 2 base runners, 1 hit. That 1 hit coming from Keegan Cassidy. That other base runner, a walk by Luca DeCercio. So spectacular outing by Cannon Shields yet again. And Holsinger's Plumbing moves to 25-0 in the season and up to 1-0 in this 3-game series in the semifinals to try and advance to the championship and win it for the 3rd year in a row. Some more baseball coming up. Game 1 of the AABA semifinals between Park Home and Locker Room. We'll have that game streamed here on the Facebook page and YouTube channel. So if you want to tune into that game, you can do so, if you please. For this game, though, it's final at 11-0 for Holsingers, who keeps the good times rolling and shuts out LS Fiore for the 3rd time this season and goes up to 4-0 on LS Fiore in 2024. So that next game coming up here soon, 7:45 first pitch. So both of these teams will warm up, and then we'll have that action for you here in the AABA Facebook or YouTube. I'm Jake Irwin, and we'll see you here in just a moment.